Uh, I work for UNDP. I've been working there for over a decade now. I am a special advisor with the UNDP Sustainable Finance Hub. It's what we call the Pretoria Hub. We have a lot of country office, but then we have some regional hubs. So I belong to a thematic hub. Yes, Anne-Marie, for us, it's about the future. As I mentioned before, I kind of run a portfolio on private sector. And yes, we have not forgotten the traditional challenge of the private sector, particularly in terms of access to finance. The microfinance institutions, the informal enterprises, the SMEs, the startups, all of that is still there. But thinking about the future, which is coming very fast to us, we cannot ignore, we need to work on green business. And this research was specifically to find out what's the status of green business in Africa, what makes, what works, what doesn't work in terms of the business models, and very important, how those business models are financed. And how can we scale it up? What are the gaps? The report basically says that the sector in Africa is evolving. It's still at early stage, but there are very interesting cases from all over the place. For our surprise, we thought we needed to go somewhere else, but we found case studies on ranging from renewable energies to sanitation to immobile mobility. We find we reviewed 200 cases. Out of those, we pick 8 from ecotourism and other areas which are very relevant to Africa. And there are very important lessons that come across the board in each of these cases. The report tells the story in each of those cases, why they work, and what are the opportunities to scale them up. The other big thing about the report was, generally speaking, what is missing in Africa to build the green economy? And there we make 5 strategic recommendations. One is that in the financial sector itself, we don't have enough green investment banks. We, for instance, have a big gap regarding microfinance. So if you want to give and support entrepreneurs in rural areas and others, there is no such a thing as green microfinance. Can we innovate towards that? The other area is the critical area related to education. You have these carbon markets and all this. It's so new, it's so misunderstood, there's a lot of suspicion. One of our big recommendations is Africa has to build some kind of educational system, training, and also get young people involved on entrepreneurships, on activities, voluntary activities. If we do that now, we'll build the culture that is required to build the green economy eventually. The initiative is basically trying to tell the private sector in Africa that, this concept of fighting climate change, building environmental sustainability, protecting and enhancing the biodiversity, it's a business opportunity underlining it. We did the research and the numbers are out there. They are huge. And it's true, there are some gaps. We recommend these specific 5 strategic areas. But if business takes the initiative, there is huge opportunity to do. And the only 2 things which come across is you need to be very innovative. And number 2, you have to have superior partnerships because you can't do it alone. I mean, from the report point of view, clearly energy, renewable energy, the vast amounts of sun power, are something which is there for Africa to seize and, realize the big opportunities, especially not only linked to consumption, but to the productive use. It's actually a very powerful, inclusive mechanism to bring the rural areas, to bring some of the disadvantaged communities into it. If you want to see how is that happening, please check a company called Copper out of Kenya. They have developed a methodology to deliver solar systems, but at affordable prices by mixing the solar with digital systems and data. So that's a bit of a revolution coming out there. I bet that company is going to be a unicorn. You know, UNDP is a field-based organization. And we did this because we wanted to equip our member country partners with the information about what is really happening, what works, what doesn't work, how do you develop, and what are those incredible business models, how do you finance it. Now we're going to move to a second stage, which is we'll be helping those countries. We have 3 now, but you know, Sub-Saharan Africa has got 45 on our portfolio. And what we want to do is basically help them to develop private sector action roadmaps, where we'll identify specific opportunities, specific gaps, and we'll also try to generate some model transactions. So we build the momentum. There's a lot to go, but for sure, there are exciting opportunities. And in this case, because we know what it takes, we know what it works, we have some good examples, I think, you know, we're preparing the fertile ground for action, which is what really matters. As a development organization, our currency is impact, positive impact. Let me underline that.